Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
Behold, brawlers, brutes, and brainiacs, it's time for you to be bewildered with another episode of Fumble Through!
Fumble Through!
A podcast that recently Googled Alzheimer's, only to find out that the links were already purple. It's another exciting week to be joining us here in the heart of the Fumble Factory at the Table of Wonder, so sit back and relax as our band of misfits continue their adventures. This is our 60th episode and one that's shaping up to be an absolute corker. Speaking of someone who often gets told to put a cork in it,
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I hope you guys are chasing up those leads to Henry Cavill.
have you heard from Henry?
It's really hard to answer that because the way we record this, yes.
I haven't heard from Henry yet.
I assume I haven't heard from him either.
I went and looked at all of my pictures from Adelaide and Cavill Avenue and nothing.
He wasn't in any of them?
I've heard from him. Well,
Oh.
I've heard from his lawyer to stop stalking him on Facebook. So.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't have jumped the fence.
Well, Henry, if you try and get hold of us, my number is...
Have your people contact our people. Our people are us.
You know how to get to our people because you sent the lawyers letters.
Through. Yeah, the cease and desist order has come through.
It's framed on my wall. It's a proud moment.
Because it's got his signature in it.
Yeah.
It's worth something. Now it's time for you to drink that imaginary potion of intelligence and get set to come on the always delightful experience that is this week's Dicey Question. Remember that we love reading your answers to these questions on socials. And we love even more when you submit your questions so that we can answer. So hit us up on the aforementioned socials and stop your Henry Cavill. No, don't stop that, but do this as the same. Anyway, this week's question comes from a listener named Tiffany, who sent her submission on Instagram. She asks us this question: who is your favorite cleric from fiction? Interesting, because I don't know, when I thought about this, of many clerical type characters. One comes to mind, and I hope none of you take it.
Well, let's
'cause I'm gonna go
define the
last.
term cleric. I mean, what are we looking at here? The priestly healer?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say think of something that's loosely defined as a cleric in role-playing games and go for that. Anyone got one straight off the bat?
I think I've got your one. So
What is it?
Hourglass one?
What?
The Hourglass one?
Let's go. Who is it?
I can't remember the name.
Oh, well, then you don't have one. What do you mean the hour? I don't even know who you're talking about, the hourglass. What, Raceland?
No. Has he got a friend who's a monk?
Maybe.
And is she a monk?
You mean his wife?
I don't want to give it away.
Well, you
You
don't
know
know.
more-
You
you know
don't
more
know the
about it than I
name.
do. Yeah,
you don't know the
it's-
name.
it's-
So
it's a
do
good
not
one.
Google that shit. Do
I'm
not.
Googling that.
Okay, well, I'll go first then because it's the only one I can think of at the
Okay.
moment. Is Tyrnard Whisperwind from World of Warcraft.
Okay, nice. Tell us more.
She's a night elf priest is what it is in WoW, but in the books she's just like, they serve the goddess Elune and heal, but they're also kind of like huntresses. So they ride around on big panthers and shoot arrows at people and
Oh, that's pretty
heal.
cool. Yeah, who else rides a big panther? Skeletor.
It's true.
Maybe he's a priest of Saloon.
Elune.
Isn't it Saloon? Oh, yeah.
No, it's
well,
Elune.
well, in Forgotten Realms, I
Right.
believe it's pronounced Saloon.
No, it's Elune as in the moon.
Oh,
They're priestess of the moon
okay.
because they're night elves.
I am the moon.
I am the moon. One time, the sun came real close and I licked his back.
Oh, gross. Can you leave my son alone?
Why is that your favorite cleric? Or is that your only cleric?
She's pretty
I'm
cool.
struggling here.
Yeah,
I am
it's really
struggling.
hard
Because of
to
lack
think
of
of-
options.
Like, there's healers in a whole heap of stuff, but I wouldn't really say they're priests or clerics. Like, they're not like do-gooders. They're just, hey, I know how to heal you.
Yeah, fair enough. I've got one.
Mhm.
Yoda. He is from a monastic order. They're a religious order.
I didn't say monk.
I'm saying he's a cleric. He heals people.
Does he? Who did he heal?
He healed Luke from being a tool bag.
I think
He healed his soul.
I think given your parameters here, Mr. Miyagi's more of a cleric
Oh,
than
man.
Yoda is.
No, I think Yoda could be treated as you said in the broadest terms possible.
Did I?
And you did, and I went with that. However you see a cleric.
Well, we
And
know
I
that
see-
he's not part of the clone army. That's a given.
Fucking hell.
There's a callback.
Gee. Wow, we know how to hold a grudge here.
I love the fact that we're answering one question, but we'll take it back to a question that we've answered.
No, didn't answer.
We answered it very definitively, dickhead.
Maybe you did.
I think Yoda is a cleric. I think he is from a clerical order. He is a martial person from that clerical order, but he's a cleric.
Okay, Yoda's a cleric now.
Just like
Is Qui-Gon a cleric?
yeah, they're all clerical. Why would they not be? Just
Yeah,
like a battle,
Technically, it's the
battle
healing
monk.
thing. I mean, really, the one to go for with that, with which demonstrates healing, is going to be Rey, right? Well, she's the only one that actually heals.
Well, in the book, there's a whole heap. There's a really cool.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Right. So anything, yeah. I didn't
there's
realize we were doing non-canon stuff.
Oh God,
That's a whole
Oh
nother-
God, there was almost a table flip there. There was a moment. I saw it.
Hold my shit, Lindsay.
Yeah. Why are you taking your earrings off?
Hold my
Hold my
Oh no,
shoes.
he didn't.
I think they're all clerics. There are some that focus on healing people. There are some that focus on the military aspects of that, just like other clerical orders. A battle mage, a battle monk, what are they called? The war cleric thing in Pathfinder.
A warforged.
War priest.
War priest, is a cleric, but is focused on fighting. It's similar kind of aspects. There are people in the Jedi Order who tend to crops. There are people that tend to people, and there are people that tend to war.
So your favorite person, your favorite cleric from fiction is you redefining what a cleric is.
You're off the hook with just an argument with you this week, Lindsay.
At least I didn't go for someone from Brendan Sanderson or Brent Weeks.
It's
Yeah,
true.
I would have thought you would have gone from some of those. The white cloaks from Wheel of Time. They're all
Yeah.
clerics.
I was struggling.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Because they follow a religion.
There was one I just can't remember the name of from Dragonlance,
Uh-huh.
which is like someone that heals all the dragons. But can't remember him. It's too long ago.
Or Riverwind and what's her name?
Silvermoon.
Silvermoon. Silvermoon was cleric.
Oh yeah.
She was
And
the
then-
first of the clerics back after.
I was
the
thinking
rest.
the priest from The Exorcist.
Oh yeah? Yeah, I could go for that. It's so much of your favorite that you refer to him as the priest from the Exorcist.
it's a hard question.
If
It's a
Justin
really difficult
didn't
question.
say fiction, I would have said the Dalai Lama.
Good. Luke, what you got?
Okay, so I'll go with Sword of Truth series.
Yep.
Sister Nikki
Okay.
from what turns out to be one of the Sisters of the Dark.
Yeah.
She's the one that kidnaps
Yep.
Richard and
And
goes on a
where's
whole journey.
Where's
and-
all the blood leathers?
Oh no, those are the more Sith.
Oh, okay.
These are the ones later books that are from the old world that come and pinch him
Okay.
and
Yeah.
take him to the
Okay.
Palace of the Prophets.
Okay.
And so there. But she's masquerading as one of the Sisters of the Light, but she's a Sister of the Dark. She
Okay.
kidnaps him later on in the series, but then she comes over to the good side, kind of thing. So So the reason we're picking him is because there's something more substance to the character, right? Is that right? Was that the brief?
I didn't
of
ask the question. Ask
What was the
Tiffany.
question? What was it again?
Who is your favorite cleric
Yeah, there we go.
from
That's my
fiction?
favorite. Yeah, so there's a great story arc under that character: healer, fighter, kick ass,
Yeah, cool.
sexy.
So clerics can fight.
Interesting.
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 Well, I'm sure any D&D character cleric can swing a hammer, right?
Well, my cleric
Or a
does.
light sword, in fact.
Oh, gosh. Here we go. Here we go.
Or command an army even.
yeah.
Man and army. While following their god.
You might call it a
obviously.
crusade, even.
Yeah, while following their god, because a cleric is generally a follower of some type of hokey
Yeah.
old religion.
Like
isn't
Like
it?
the Force, yeah.
Yeah. Hokey old religion.
I
The
think
only
that
person that refers to it as that
Binds all things.
is a smuggler.
Yeah, I don't think having a bacterial infection though is needed, is it?
Yeah, midi-chlorians is what brings all clerics together. That's what I say. Look, mine, unlike Brett's, actually comes from some type of fantasy fiction that's set in the Dungeons and Dragons worlds of the Forgotten Realms, and his name is Cadderley. Cadderley is a cleric that lives up in the mountains and has opened a library. He has a wife who is a monk who faced off against Artemis and Trary at one point. They killed a dragon. There is Ivan and Pykel, the two dwarves. So it's very much set in that fantasy world. But Catullus probably the most famous cleric that I know. It comes from the Cleric Quintet series written by the same guy, the R.A. Salvatore, who wrote all the Dritz books. There's 5 of them, great books, read them. But outside of that, because I thought someone was going to steal that, I had to think about this. And my other favorite clerics are the ones from the movie Equilibrium. So if you go back and you look at the Christian Bale movie,
I
they
really
call
like that
themselves
movie.
clerics. They're the
Yeah,
gun
they do.
clerics.
Graviton cleric,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah. And they have the gun carter.
Yep.
And they go around and they preach, and they are very much clerics. The other one that I would have thought that I really love is the cleric, and this is probably on the edge here, is Floki from the Vikings TV show.
Oh, yeah, I know, because he follows Loki.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Floki leads them to the promised land and opens a whole church there and that kind of stuff. So they're the 3 that I had backed up. But again, I had a little bit of joy that I had.
Catullus is a very good one. I love the fact he God of knowledge or something.
Yeah.
And a book would appear above his head when he cast spells to get the right spells, and he captured imps and demons and questioned them and used them for his, he was very, very, the whole premise of that was very cool.
Yeah. Excellent series of books if you are into that kind of thing, which we hope you are. That's what this whole podcast
That's why you're here,
about.
right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what this whole podcast is about.
If you're not, get ready for disappointment.
Anything else anyone wants to add?
Would the Samuel L. Jackson character from
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction be a cleric then? He preaches from the gospel.
Where's the healing?
It's the opposite of healing.
Spiritual healing, right?
Yeah, anti-cleric, perhaps. It's one tasty beverage.
I don't know. I'm just thinking, aren't there a whole heap of weird religious characters that have
We are going to need some help from the people out there.
Yeah.
Dr. McCoy from Star Trek.
On Thursday,
Oh, God.
there will be a post with this question. Flood the post with all the people that we have not thought about.
Yeah, because I'm
and
sure
should
there's
have.
plenty out
Flood
there.
it.
There's
Flood it. Tell us how
plenty.
stupid we are.
There's plenty. The Da Vinci Code. I'm sure there's clerics in there.
There's 2.
What?
Very obvious with the bad guy.
Leonardo and Da Vinci. Ninja Turtle. Hang on. Oh, I made myself laugh then. Probably the only one. So let's bring him. Oh, we going to say something?
If you don't touch yourself there, you probably won't laugh so much.
I broke my funny bones. So that leads us back into this week's game. So a lot's been happening over the last little while, and you guys are hot on the heels of the Demon Lord Skellsgig. I'm going to call him a Demon Lord from now on. It's not really what he is, but he is. The Barghest Skellsgig. You guys have recently had an encounter with Skellsgig that went really well for Flopsy and kind of well for Miles and not so well for Reg. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well,
Miles made a new friend.
Yeah, didn't get injured. Or
Yeah, that's right.
From a
Used all my
very
spells.
certain
That's right.
point of view.
Yeah, it didn't go too well for a bunch of kids. But what you know about Skellsgig is that Skellsgig has been operating for a while, all the way back to the brother of Nigel Aldane, who is, anyone got the name?
Virgil.
Virgil Aldane, who was found dead in his antiquities shop. Now, that is what sparked everything. It's also where the wolf staff that Lindsay thinks I've forgotten about, but I haven't, was. But then there was a series of dead bodies that came from that. All of those dead bodies shared the same rend marks across their chests. That led you then to the brickworks, which then led you into the slaughterhouse, which led you downstairs to see that some kind of summoning has happened, which summons Skellsgig at that point in time. You got rid of the Weidmans, who had obviously summoned with the help of a necromancer. And now you have had Miles was on a date, which is where this has come through. Miles's date's father has been attacked by this creature. Miles put that person into protective custody with, so do you remember what the dad's name was? You remember the Jan Dash's name? last time?
Mr. Jendasher.
I think he was called a Grand Dasher.
His name was Philhelm.
Daddy Dasher.
Daddy Dasher. Oh gosh, yes. But Philhelm. So Philhelm was the name of the man who was attacked in that, but he was left alive. And it seems now that Skelsgig may be connected to you. You've joined the dots enough to know that Skelsgig, somewhat targeting you, had lured you into the cemetery where you found that macabre scene of all of those children being impaled on fences. Then you had a confrontation with Skelsgig where he tried to drag Flopsy away, failed that dismally as he blinked out into incorporeality. He dimension doored away. And then you have been hot on the heels. You found a young lady who was captured by said Skelsgig, or what you think might be Skelsgig's description, held captive in a warehouse with other children, probably those same children that were impaled on the fence. She was left behind and told that Skelsgig would return for her when the moon is full, and that that they would have a feast together. That was a piece of information that she gave you. You guys have just searched the warehouse only to find that there is the Weidman seal here, and the Weidmans have been storing some of their goods in said warehouse. Now, you probably at this point are looking at finding out some information about a Barghest, so you can go and do some research from that. I think the other avenue that you were going down, what was the other thing that you were looking
We're
for?
chasing Jerome around the
Jerome
bakery.
at the back of the bakery is another street urchin. Whether he will be there or maybe he's one of the children that was taken, you're not really sure. But what you do know, Miles, is you were also attacked by a street urchin just before you went to go and see Jendasher.
The great butter knife attack of 2 days ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So where are you sitting right now? That's probably a recap. Have I missed anything? Is there anything else that I've missed, or that you think is important, or that
Can I just ask, how common are cursed magic items
they're
or cursed items?
they're pretty common? Like, have you checked your sickle out lately?
It's called a karma.
Yeah, it is
It's
called
got
karma,
bad
and it's going to come
karma.
bite you.
Bad karma.
No, cursed items are around. They definitely are around.
Okay.
Like you would probably say that the that crown that was controlling the watch would be under the item of or the banner of a cursed item.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
was
second
thinking-
one we've encountered. We
Yes,
had to go
I was
at the
going to say
docks.
the necklace at the docks. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I did actually forget about that one. But yes, that's a cursed item that Bull Clutha ended up or Bull Clutha's higher ups ended up removing.
Flopsy would, while we're, milling about espousing our theories, just kind of, I think he makes a realization. Gentlemen, I always thought that we were interrupting this creature and it couldn't eat the bodies that we found. I always thought we were just moments too late to save those poor people and to apprehend him. But I wonder if they were then being laid there for us. It doesn't make sense that if he's hungry, that he would have left those bodies for us to find rather than eat them. And I do remember before I fell unconscious that he wanted to eat me and taste if there was power inside me.
Well, he's called the Devourer of Reason, so maybe it's something else he eats, not flesh.
Interesting. But he did bite me. He bit me quite hard.
But then again, why would he want to fatten up the little girl then?
I wonder if she's got some power. That if he's not eating the girl, he's searching for children of power that he might groom so that he can eat their
Well,
power.
wasn't the implication that they would feast together?
It's true. There's also the signs that say, go away halflings, go away tieflings. But this little girl was of mixed heritage.
True.
I wonder if there's a linkage there as well.
Oh, look, the bakery.
Yeah. The other
Nice.
the other thing that you also probably and as a GM, I'm just going to remind you of this. Do you remember the character Jorik Afton?
Jorik, who we found downstairs,
Mhm.
he was a gnome.
Yes, and he told you about some stuff. Why was he locked up there? He talked to you a little bit about this.
Yeah, he said he was a very, very bad man.
Very bad man.
I can't remember, Justin.
Very, very bad man. Well, remember he told you that they were feeding him they were essentially going to feed him to
Feeding him to
Skelsgig.
Skelsgig. They were waiting for Skelsgig to arrive.
And they were going to
That's
feed him,
right.
and then Skelsgig, they no longer needed him, which is why they started torturing him. So he told you a bit of a story about that.
Skelsgig's appetite's increased somewhat then if he's gone from a gnome as a general meal to a bunch of kids.
Gnome, tiefling, some other half-bred child. None of them are human, goblin, or He's going for people,
Virgil was human.
but he didn't eat Virgil. And in
True.
fact, Virgil was, dragged from upstairs to downstairs.
But we haven't
and
found anyone
tortured
eaten yet.
and-
We've only found
and
people
he had a
murdered.
carved wolf's paw.
He did. So I think that was about where's the sword, where's the cane.
Interesting.
Mm. Mm, mm.
Oh, look, there's the bakery.
I smell hot pockets.
Yeah, yeah. You guys are walking along when you get to the bakery Agnes was talking about, and the bakery is on a corner, and you can clearly see that there's an alley behind the bakery. It smells delightful around here. As a matter of fact, you can hear Flopsy's drool dripping onto the floor, or gushing, I would probably like to say. But behind the bakery very much is a set of dumpsters, and you can see stale breads and kind of that throwaway from a few days ago, goods that you wouldn't be able to sell, but are probably still edible for very hungry people.
Do we see any children around?
I'm very hungry.
You do not.
No, in the back alley or nothing?
You see no children around.
You see Flopsy with a hot pocket coming through the back door of the bakery. Yes, yes, there's a new technique where you can heat them up on the go. We call it the hot pocket hot pock.
That's a terrible name. Hot pocket, hot pocket.
I'm not in charge of marketing. I'm R&D.
Oh, if only some. Yeah, well, can we go in the bakery?
Yep.
Buy a whole heap of
Pastries.
pastries?
Mm.
Do we need to talk to the bakery owner by any chance?
We should go. What do you know? Who's been hanging out? The children were abducted.
Get your breads from here. Get anything you want. You want a sweet meat pie? I've got them as well.
I want a kid named Jerome.
It's the wrong place for that.
I'm sorry, sir. We put him in a pie last week.
Can I like this? What are the prices like here? Is this going to be super cheap? Also, I mean, super cheap.
The regular prices that you would find. I mean, bread's pretty constant. You were around
But like the other
city.
stuff you said, it was made with stuff that's a little bit, close to using stuff that's a little bit more close to the sell-by date. Didn't you say that?
No,
Stuff
they've thrown
in the
they've
bins.
thrown
Oh,
things
sorry.
out the back. So essentially, you get the idea. The reason why I said that is you get the idea that because of the refuse of the bakery, the
Kids come here to
children,
get food.
kids,
Gotcha.
homeless
Gotcha.
people,
Gotcha.
children would come here
Sorry.
and grab that. And you can see, even that said, the baker's gone to a bit of lengths to protect that stuff. He kind of knows it's. You can see even the way it's set up. It's in a basket next to the bins, kind
Okay.
of stuff. So
In a
it's not
bread
with
bin.
all the gross, eggshells and all that kind of stuff. He's
Yeah.
separated it and put it there, knowing.
Should we hang out here for a...
I think it's probably a
Oh,
good
Oh, I'm
idea.
just going to ask the baker for us and say,
How may I help you, sir? You look like a hungry man.
"Hi, sir. My name's Private Miles McCarthy from the Watch."
All right, Private. You're on your duties, are you? You probably want something to take with you. Nice sausage roll
Oh,
made with no rats.
that would be lovely. But first, I just want to ask you a few questions, if you may.
Sure.
We're actually looking for a kid that comes around here. You grab some of your stale bread out the back.
Oh, plenty of kids do that all the time. Adults, kids, lots of people come here.
We're hoping you may know him and you can help us find him. He may have some information that can help save his friends.
Aye?
We're after a kid named Jerome.
Jerome, eh?
Yes.
Any distinctive marks?
Should have probably asked Agnes that.
I'm not sure. I wasn't in the room. I was outside.
No. His
I'm
name-
not really one to talk to them. I do my part.
Do you know where
Private
they
Miles.
kind
I
of
do
hang
my
around?
part and sit there. I put the bread out.
Very admirable, sir.
I know that they're going to come and get it, but I try not to mingle with them. You know what they say? Give one urchin a nice piece of bread, all of them will come around. They're a bit like
That's a great idea. Why don't we give an urchin a piece of bread and tell them there's more where that came from and bring them all here?
Well, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's grab a basket full of.
Thank you for your offer, Master Baker. Free bread for all the children. Well done.
Can we have a basket of some of your goodies here, and we'll see if we can fish out this young Jerome.
all right.
And can we also get 4 sausage rolls, 1 meat pie, and a vanilla slice, please?
What's vanilla?
And a milk coffee, please. It's been a long night.
It's the morning, Flopsy.
It has been a long night.
That's why it's been so long. So long it's turned into morning. Yeah, look, he charges you for all of that stuff, so you can buy it. Depends how much are you going to buy?
I know, a couple of gold.
Couple of gold's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a couple of gold pieces. You come out with a couple of baskets full of bread and stuff. Bread's not super expensive.
Oh
For a
no!
couple of gold, that sounds bloody expensive,
What?
right? For a couple of
Well,
gold.
2 baskets plus vanilla
on,
slice.
how
Now,
big-
the
hang-
vanilla slice
All
and
right,
the
so-
sausage
so
rolls
yes.
and the milk coffee,
Yeah, yeah.
that stuff's premium.
Can we just so we help me visualize when you say basket of bread? How big are these baskets?
We're
laundry baskets.
We're talking
basket?
like each one would probably have 10 loaves of bread.
Okay, still pretty fucking steep, right?
Oh, Flopsy, I've done
Silver
it
piece
again.
of
I've,
life.
I've bought way too much bread. If only there were some hungry kids out here we could share it with.
Any urchin children on the street that we can see there?
Yeah, said the man no children want to go near. Oh my, I've dropped all of this candy on the floor near my white
we wear our
van.
uniforms as well.
Yeah. So Miles has pulled up a cart, written on there, free candy and puppies within.
Reminded of a Justin Timberlake song from Saturday Night Live, where he might have his dick in a box.
Anyway, so you guys basically move around to the back alley, and back alley, front alleys. What's your plan
Bit of
here?
both, I think. Split party.
I think we're looking for some young people who might be urchin-like, and we'll spread the word that there is some free food.
Mm-hmm. As soon as the word gets out there's free food, people will flock. And being where you are in the north of the Puddles, people are coming from the Puddles district. Like within 10 minutes, there's probably 10 or so adults with hungry babes.
I have a sausage roll here for whoever can find me
Oh,
Jerome.
that's mine.
And there's probably about 3 teeth between them.
Yep. Sausage roll for anyone who can find me Jerome and bring me.
Flopsy has no problem buying these people a meal and spreading the food out.
And you start handing the food out. You start talking to people. Just make a gather information check. So it's a diplomacy check for me.
What we're all good at.
You can all add 5 to your check result.
19.
No, it's not bad.
That's my sausage roll.
You just kick a kid.
I rolled a 2.
You add 5 to it though.
Yeah, still 9.
You ordered us 4. There's 3 of us. 1.
I'm a halfling. I eat.
It's 11sies.
Flopsy rolled a 16, so add the 5 onto that.
Yep.
And the total of the score is 19.
Okay, perfect. Look, eventually you end up giving away your bread pretty quickly. Like you're walking into a poor area and start giving away food, people are going to flock to you. And everybody seems to start moving away. The ebb and flow of this kind of, they see the bread peter out, and you see a little boy just standing on the corner of the alley, kind of peeking his head around the alley in a wary visage look.
Hey, you boy, are you Jerome?
And he just looks at you. He doesn't say anything.
Agnes told us to look for you.
Where's Agnes?
She's at one of the precinct at North Puddles.
What are you done with her?
She was in a bit of trouble. We found her chained up in a.
She not in no trouble. You let her go.
She's
Let her go now.
She's perfectly fine. She's being fed and cared for. We're actually hoping you. She said that you tried to stop her from the man that was taking her. We're wanting to find him and stop him from taking any more kids.
Oh, I've heard that story before. You're trying to take me as well, aren't you?
No.
None of them come back. They all took bread. They all took little pies. And now they're not here anymore, are they?
We see all
I'm
these.
here. Little Jerome's here all by himself, cold at night.
You've seen all these other people take bread, and you see we haven't taken any of them. We're just we're wanting to find this man and stop him.
Would you like a custard slice?
I ain't taking nothing from you, Haffy.
Was the man a goblin that I was offering previously?
Yeah, little one.
Yes.
Mean teeth. Weird accent.
Yes. Do you know where we might find him?
No, he just came here.
You would know where he took those children.
Took him to warehouse.
That's where we found Agnes, but the rest of the children weren't there. We're looking for that man.
He told him he was going to keep him safe. I told him not to go.
They
I
wouldn't-
told him, you ain't going there. He's going to do something.
You're very smart, Jerome.
I am.
You're a wise kid. Keep to those streets months. They'll serve
Did
you
you just
well.
call me a wise ass?
Wise kid.
Oh,
Read my mind.
What else would you know, Jerome, that might help us find those that abducted those kids? I know you are protecting all the children on the streets. It's very admirable.
he'd just come here and then he'd say, you want a cake? And then they'd go with him and he'd offer him. They said, come with us and we'll give you shelter and food and you'll be taken care of. I ain't going to no orphanage again. I've been to an orphanage. It ain't good. They made us do work.
Yes, work is terrible. I understand. Have other children gone missing from around the area?
Yeah, lots.
I flick Jerome a silver piece and I'm like, you can have this whether or not you help us or not, but we want to save as many of these kids as we can. We're not going to sugarcoat it. You're a smart kid. You know something's up. A lot of these kids were found dead, and we want to stop this from happening again.
What do you mean dead?
We found them dead. They were murdered in a very horrible way as well. There wasn't a nice way in their sleep. They were butchered.
Custard slice?
I'm literally sitting here as Justin going, wow, he really sugarcoated that.
I've been reading.
really went straight for the, I'll just break this gently. They're dead. Horribly murdered.
They're dead, Jim.
I have been reading Brent Weeks' Night Angel trilogy again, and the kids on that street, they know what the fuck goes down.
Horribly murdered. He looks at you and he says, like, what do you want from me? I'll take you to where the warehouse is.
Is this the warehouse at
We've been there.
corner of Philip and Gray?
Sure, that's not the names of them, but yeah.
Is that the one we've already been to?
Yeah,
Yep,
would be.
okay.
It would be.
So
What
that's all you know? You don't know anything else, sir?
Well, I know that he came here, he'd be here at dusk.
Dusk.
When? Every day?
Oh, it was probably every second or third day.
Have you seen him recently?
He'd come, then he wouldn't, and then he wouldn't, and then he wouldn't. Last time I saw him 3 days ago.
Okay.
And has he been seen elsewhere or just here?
Only time that I saw him was here.
Okay.
I told Agnes not to go. Is she dead?
Agnes
No,
is
she's-
safe. She's
she's
at the
fine.
precinct house. She's being well cared for and fed and kept warm and clean. If you want to see her, go and present yourself to the watch sergeant there, and they will let you see her.
What about Celine?
Was
I
she
think
one of the
she's-
dead ones there, Miles?
I think she's making a good career singing, if I'm not mistaken.
Are we down to a two-person podcast now?
I'm just thankful he didn't say, you mean Celine Dion? One person.
Unfortunately, Jerome, we don't have anyone to identify who these children are.
Where are they?
They're also at the morgue.
The bone collectors have them there, giving them their rights. As children will be treated well in death, not as they have in life.
They're trying to sort the bits out and make sure the same people are in the right part.
Jesus. Yeah, you can see, like, even at that, he kind of he shakes a little bit, and that gruff demeanor that he's got, that standoffishness that you can see, it's a way of him coping with life on the streets, kind of drops for a second. You see a micro expression of pain and sorrow cross across his face, especially. Can I speak to Agnes?
Yes, you can.
My suggestion, Jerome, is round up as many children as you can and take them to the watch for safekeeping. If this man is on the streets, no child is safe until we apprehend him. Get them safe, Jerome. Look after them.
Take them to the watch house.
The watch house will keep them safe. They know what's going on.
I also I flick him another silver piece. I say, Jerome, if you ever need us, we're at the precinct of the Pedal District. If you need anything, you come find me, okay?
It's a long way away.
I'm sorry. Any of the watchmen will be able to help you, but if you want me, that's where I'll be.
The watch command at the local watch house know all about it. They were investigating as well.
If you ask anyone, they'll be able to contact us there.
Fat lot of good they've been for us.
Well, we're hopefully going to try and rectify that.
Thank you. He kind of pockets the 2 silver pieces, and is that all?
Do you want a sausage roll?
Yeah.
I'll leave the basket of whatever's left there.
How many more children are sleeping rough where you are?
There's plenty of us.
And I'll Flopsy will pop back inside to the bakery and grab a whole bunch more and bring it out for him.
Yeah, and he kind of makes his way off after a little while with his arms full of bounty and his cheeks full of food, and he says, "Watch house, right?
Yep,
they'll take care of us.
They will. Tell them McCarthy and the crew sent you."
So Jerome makes his way off, food in hand, looking back. And you can see he's visibly slumped a little bit. And when he thinks you're not looking at him, you can see his shoulders bounce up and down like he's a bit upset, and continues off, slips away into the distance.
Learning experience for the child.
Was I too hard on him?
No, it's the truth.
I couldn't see any other way to get it.
It shall
Get the
set
trust
you
out of
free.
him.
Gave him 2 silvers and a sausage roll. We should be bloody happy.
It's got a whole bunch of bread for everyone else.
It's the best day the baker's had for a while.
No kidding.
Paid off his shop.
Ripped us right off.
Hey, let's set up a ambush.
Here.
Do we need to? Should we alert some more guards? Get some more watch on it.
Flops. Reggie just gave me a wonderful idea. He just said he could have infiltrated the children.
That's not what I said. I said I could have.
You could have. You could have.
Yes.
What were your words there?
Sorry, I didn't use infiltrated. Yeah, but yes, fine. Yes.
Which gave me the idea that he could act like an urchin.
Right, with the basket, the thing at the
with
back
a basket
of the
bread, pretending to eat the bread while we
I like it, Flopsy.
take up some positions, take up the high ground, as it were, and
Do we want to get some watch guards? Get some extra crossbows up on the.
We can handle this, can't we?
We did so well last time.
I think a flare might be in order.
Well, we'll be all right as long as you don't get ensorcelled again, Miles, right?
What's the time of day, Justin?
It's still morning. Well, you would have spent a couple of hours, like let's say lunchtime.
Hey, let's quickly go tell Thunderback what we're doing.
If you want to go tell Thunderback, I'm going to go find out some more information about bar guests.
I'll go get some kids' clothes
Okay.
from the morgue.
And shave.
I will be able to disguise you.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, so the three of you split up
Right,
and go
yeah,
your separate
okay.
ways into different areas of the town. Luke starts to go op shopping through.
No, I was going to the morgue. We've got loads of kids' clothes there now, right?
Yeah, I guess they do.
The seat, they've got holes in them and stuff.
All right, so we're going to start with Flopsy.
Authentic.
Flopsy, you start going through and doing a bit of research on a barghest. You find your way into a local library and start doing a research. Can you make a gather information check? Actually, Flopsy, with your ability to have a library with you and doing some research behind you, you are able to take 20 on this check if you would like.
Ooh, and what's the skill?
It'll be knowledge planes.
Knowledge planes is a 29, my friend.
A 29. Now, are you actually trained in knowledge planes?
I am.
You are? Cool. All right. So you find a couple of things out about the creatures known as a barghest. So the barghest is an ancient demon. So barg basically means town, and guest is a colloquialism that you can think from people that was the name of ghost. So at some point with the accent, it was a guest. So it was called a town ghost. A town ghost or a barghest is often seen amongst the company of goblins, worshipped by goblins more often than not. Sometimes they're seen in the company of dogs as well, big black dogs. And you know that they are often part of goblin society, and goblins worship them as mini gods or as the deities that have come to earth as well. The barghest is an outsider. So it's a medium outsider creature. But it can shape change, so often takes the form of a goblin. Barghests have very magical properties, so they are magically resistant to a whole heap of things. So we know that in game terms as the fact that they have damage reduction. And you also know a couple of things. So there are things that you already know about them. You know that they have the ability to blink in and out of reality, which is why they can go incorporeal. You know they have the ability to charm creatures, which you've seen firsthand with Miles. You know they have the ability to dimension door, which is teleport short different distances. And you also know they have the ability to cast disparity on people. So the spell Crushing Despair is what it is. But that's what you guys all suffered that despair from. The most important thing that you get, and this is probably the thing that relates to your investigation the most, is that once per month, a barghest can devour a humanoid's corpse as a full round action and gain what's called a growth point. So basically, a barghest once per month can devour a person, and for each person that they devour, they become more and more powerful. If they've devoured enough of these, they turn into what's called a greater barghest, which has lots more power and they have lots more spell-like abilities, and they're pretty hardcore. So that's an assumption that you can make, is that Skellsgig currently is looking to devour. And putting those two things together, that's maybe why he was talking to Agnes about coming back on the full moon to devour.
Is tonight the full moon?
The full moon would be tomorrow night.
So one would assume he's going to want to recruit somebody pretty sharp.
You'll need to put something in that warehouse for tomorrow night's ritual.
All right. Where were you going, Miles?
Just to tell Thunderback what we were doing.
Okay, so what points of information are you bleeding back to Thunderback?
I'm like, Thunderback, we think we found where he'll be tonight, and we're planning on setting up a little bit of an ambush.
Where is that?
Apparently, he hangs around the old bakery, comes around the old bakery every couple of days where the kids get all the stale bread
Aye.
at North Puddles District.
Aye.
And we've told all the kids to hang out, to stay away, and we're going to have little Reg disguise himself as a kid and try and lure him in, and then...
And you're sure that he's going to be there?
No, not 100%, but going from the patterns, it seems like this is our best bet.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that perhaps the gig's up for that place?
I'm not sure.
Is there anywhere else that you know that he'll be?
No, he just kind of roams around the district where kids are, apparently. Do you know where kids hang out, Sarge?
Nowhere that he's told you that he's going to be, that you've found out.
He might peer past the bakery, and if not, he's apparently returning to the warehouse tomorrow at a full moon to devour young Agnes.
You're going to put Agnes in that
No,
warehouse?
I'm not. But that's where he'll return because he thinks, well, we're going to dress little Reg up as a little girl.
Aye.
And make him look like Agnes.
Oh, Jesus, what a sight.
And then as he goes to devour him, bam, sucker punch.
So what's your plan of abduction here? Do you need watchmen?
I don't think it could hurt as long as we can have him stealthy and like maybe in the rafters with crossbows or something.
The problem that you've got here is the more people that are there, the more you're going to tip off.
Yeah.
If you are setting a plan, I would. My gut is telling me that you should focus on one place rather than two. Set the time. Take the moment.
Fair enough. I'll take your advice under consideration, sir. I'll let you know if we need you.
Aye. Carry on then.
Promotion in this if we succeed, sir?
Godspeed to you.
I just want the title. Don't even want the pay. I just want the titles.
You are aware you've been in this job 3 weeks.
Yes, and,
Fucking millennials.
I want gratification, sir. Biggest case of this precinct's ever seen.
Godspeed to you, Miles.
Very well. Salutes.
Mm-hmm. Reg, where were you headed?
Op shops.
Does my
I'm not
ass
going to
look
the
fat
morgue.
in
No.
this?
I catch up to Reg and go, Reg, scrap it. We need to make you look like a little girl, not a little boy. You're going to be
Reggie's a girl.
You're going to be posing
Let's
as
get school
Agnes.
flashbacks.
You're going to be Agnes.
Agnes. Okay.
So dress as Agnes.
Right.
Get into character. She talked like this. She was very shy. Do
We're
that.
not going to be talking. As soon as he turns up.
Take that, dog cunt.
So we're not going to do the bakers tonight. We just focus on the warehouse tomorrow.
Yeah, Sarge had a very good point, and unless he's, in on it. He said maybe we should go where we know he's definitely going to be, which is to feast on Agnes.
He does have some experience in this space. I think.
So
we should
maybe
take-
we wait there. And
Did you suggest putting, a guard perimeter at maybe 200-300 feet out in case we need support?
he reckons the more people that we have around, the more likely we have our jig is up. So
Yes. It'd be
I think
good to be
we-
able to call in reinforcements
Is there like a
somehow.
I can ask for a flare. But,
is there an L house or somewhere like that nearby that the boys can kind of, maybe not an L house. but,
Saunter on into through the day
and somebody's keeping an eye out a window
Yeah.
for a flare. When it goes off, they all come. Because if we have them all
Yeah,
hanging
yeah.
around in the streets and he moves through the streets, he's going to get a little bit spooked, maybe.
Or
Yeah,
in
but
fact, a
definitely-
delivery at a warehouse next door.
And definitely you could set that up. So I guess the point there is if you put a whole heap of people with crossbows sitting in the warehouse, you may tip off. They've obviously got to hide. Yes, very easily there can be people in the vicinity that are not right there. Like you probably think if you're putting people next door in the warehouse doing a delivery, might not happen. That would
as long as there's some support nearby in case things go pear-shaped.
We can hold him for a few
He's-
rounds, can't
and
we?
he's-
It's just after that it gets a little bit sketchy, right?
And in game, definitely, if you want watchmen, I'm happy to give. He's happy to lend as many watchmen as you've got. He's got at least 10 guys that you could probably draw upon.
Excellent.
10
10
that are-
accents.
That are watchmen that can be there for you as support team. But he doesn't recommend putting everybody in. Like you guys
We-
kind of gather it up.
We
in
need
there.
escape prevention.
Yeah,
we
that's
don't
what
want him
we're
to get
after.
out here. So we need, a perimeter like close, but then another perimeter, maybe 500 feet away, if that's the scale of a dimension door in a vicinity, to go, well, he's popping out.
Launch up flares so that we know where he's gone.
Yeah.
And this is where, as a GM, I've taken a leaf out of Brett's book because a couple of weeks ago, Brett decided to give you maps. I have a map of the warehouse for you. So right now you have a picture of the warehouse in front of you. That's exactly what the warehouse looks like right now, right here. You don't have a picture of the surrounding areas, but you can imagine that there's rows of warehouses with a large kind of driveway that goes between them. And you can see even on that map, I think you can see the next houses or the next warehouses.
Where were the
next door.
chains that?
It's like an L-shaped space, right? With lots of carts and goods in corners and around with a clear L-shaped thoroughfare in the middle section.
Where were the chains where the girl was
the
tied?
spike in the floor?
So the spike in the floor is in the very center.
This here.
Two grates in the floor that come up from below, and then two big entranceways on the kind of the vertical part of the L, and on the horizontal part of the L, between the two grates that are on each end of the horizontal, there's a spike on the floor. No upper levels, just one big flat level. Plenty of places to hide, but lots of entrances and exits too. Footprints, where do you think there was one obvious gate for in and out though, right?
Yeah, so the main gate that you've got is the gates probably to your north on the northern side of the map.
So it's a big kind of cartway where cars can come in on the north.
Yeah, there's a giant cart in that.
Blocking the entranceway.
Yeah, blocking the
and
doorway.
then similarly down the south, so you kind of drive the cart straight through without having to turn them around. There's another doorway there. That seems like the likely entranceways, right?
Mm.
Given that you guys are going to sort of sit in there, I want to call it a control room or a heist room at this point in time. Like I don't know if you've ever played GTA before, but this reminds me of that heist room in GTA. You guys sit down and plan. Thunderback's there, lending a bit of credence and a bit of advice. He basically says to you, look, we've got some watchmen here at your disposal. You use them as you want, but you need to lead this. He's more than happy to be on the ground with you if that is what you want. But he said, look, basically at this point, you've been the closest to this. You've gone through the slaughterhouse. You know what's there. You tell us what you need. You've encountered Skellsgig multiple times. What you need from the watch. A flare is definitely available for you, but the best resource that he can give you is watchmen. So, there's no magical equipment, there's no potions, there's none of that stuff.
You're willing to fight with us.
That's right, Miles. I'm
'Cause
willing to dust off.
I know from your from playing you in your past life that you've got quite a stealth.
You'll find that I'm quite different to that these days. I'm an
just-
old dwarf.
Just start a character for a second. There's a roof on this, right?
Yeah. No,
So
it's an open warehouse, open air.
Tall ceiling.
They want all the goods in there to get water damage.
Right, yeah. So the flare's no good.
from the bottom and the top.
Flare's no good then.
You could do a flare out like a window at the top or a roof or
You've
out
got to
the
get
door.
to it though.
Yeah.
You
If
do it
the
out-
shit goes down.
You can do it out the door if you wanted. You're overthinking that part. There can
Oh,
be
I
a
was just thinking it would
signal.
be better to have a whistle and something
either
audible.
We already
Yeah.
have whistles.
Put the flare outside with a
Yeah,
string.
unless
pull
it's
the
a
string.
conch, you're
Off we
fucked.
go.
No,
Wait.
this is when I'll get the natty 20 on
That'll
the
be it,
conch.
right? Yeah.
With a bar guest who can dimension door, he can be in any part of that room from anywhere outside. He doesn't need to come through a doorway. Putting a trap on a door doesn't kind of make sense.
Well, it's too many doorways anyway. You
Yeah,
can come
but
through
if,
anyway,
if
can you?
Reginald's at the spike, it seems that that's the place we need to focus on. The
Yep.
20 feet around that spike is a medium creature. So, if we gave you a 10-foot platform and then trapped 10 foot around it, that would be the place I think that would make the most sense. We don't know if it's it's going to be some kind of ritual that he would need to do, full round action to consume, right?
You're not sure about that. You've never seen it before.
Anyone got Xena's silence?
Not of silence, no.
We could
Got a zone of fire called a bomb.
we can get some things. Let's try and source some like Tanglefoot bags or something like that.
All right. So, I think I know that you guys are doing some spitballing here, but just because of the way we're doing this for a podcast, I just want to go around right now and just get some immediate ideas from each of you. So I'm going to start with Luke. Luke, what's your kind of plan? If you had to plan this and it was only you without everybody else, what are your immediate thoughts right now?
My thinking is being in the middle there with the spike, going to get approached by him.
Yeah. I know you're obviously dressed as Agnes.
And I'm going to be optimistic and assume that he's going to get pretty right close to me before he realizes that I'm not the girl.
Uh-huh.
But hopefully within that space have something that will incapacitate or
So
trap
what's
him.
that? Are you thinking of? Is this a kill mission or is this a capture mission?
No, this will be capture. So this will be something like a bear trap or like a, I don't know, some device or spell or something that will just basically make it very difficult for him to either get away
All right.
or be too combative.
Okay. And as I'm on your side, I'm listening to this and I'm going to give you some feedback after this, but we're going to move on to Lindsay.
Mine's basically the same. I don't have any ideas about traps or anything.
Kill or capture?
Miles doesn't really care.
Okay.
If he manages to capture him, he will. But if he has to kill him, he will.
Kill or capture, promotion.
He's he has got the cool idea of having the karma on chain have as the chain that's tying him to the. So
nice! It looks like it's the chain.
The karma
and
the
it's not
spike.
actually got me tied there at all.
Yeah.
I can just whip it out and
Yeah, but he's got his chain like around his hand, which is karma on chain.
I
so-
like that.
Yeah, and then I think us just either. I don't think we guard any of the exits. I think because he's dead center, and as he can TP, we're on like both opposite sides of the building, so he's in the middle, and yeah,
So are you worried about him TPing the place, like throwing toilet paper
yeah,
everywhere?
that's it.
What do you
extremely
mean by
flammable.
TP? Oh, teleport. Sorry, it took me a minute. Caught up. Brett, what's your immediate thoughts here?
Flopsy has a very
Kill or capture?
dead.
Okay.
Very spell-like response to it. He thinks if we can purchase a 3rd level potion of protection of fire and then strap 20 potions of alchemist fire around Reginald, death from the inside of the Barghest may be the way to go. You will have protection from fire, so you just need to get inside the Barghest.
Yeah,
and then,
the thing is,
you know-
why bother with the protection from fire? I think we've done pretty well with the reflex save from a vest. Is that what I'm wearing? Some sort of alchemical vest?
it's a potion. You drink it, and for 10 minutes a level, you get protection, 120 points of protection of fire.
No, that's fine.
So that while I'm throwing bombs in there,
Oh, no.
you
See,
can be in there.
Why cut out the middleman? Why throw the bombs at me and potentially risk you missing me? Why not have me have the bomb?
Yeah.
So when he gets close,
So
just
you're
go, surprise, bitch, bam,
You're
on the floor.
covered in alchemist fires.
Yes.
So you are the bomb.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I can't give you my bombs; they don't work for you. But I
With the
can
bomb,
throw them.
Reggie.
And then
Big Reg.
you just
Medium sized.
figure out how to be the demure little girl eating up the food, waiting for her good friend the Barghest.
We can
will-
put the bombs in the bucket and then some food on top. So he looks like he's eating out of the bucket, but it's really just a bucket full of bombs.
Oh no, that's the shitting bucket.
Oh, that will be flammable.
I think that's Flopsy's idea. Is if we could dig a pit in there, we'd dig a pit, let the Barghest fall down, and then
Yeah.
bomb
I
the crap
like
out
the
of it.
theatre of your
Okay.
idea.
So
Very
as,
cool.
As GM, I'm just going to bring you back into the realities of your ideas. I love your ideas, and I'm not trying to what yuck your yum, as Lindsay likes to say. But here are some things that you need to think about. Number one, capturing a Barghest who you know can dimension door is going to need some thought about it if that is the route that you're going to go down. Number two, you put Reggie in the middle of this and Spike. Reggie is going to have to do some kind of theatrics to convince a Barghest that he is a young street urchin. Yes, very much so. You have the same body style, shape, form, all of that kind of stuff, given her half type of nature in there. You also need to think about what is your plan once this kicks off. How are you going to see this through? How do you indeed, once it starts, get Reggie out of the line of fire if that's what you want? Or if you are going to booby trap, set traps, how are you going to cover those so that the Barghest isn't going to, in the matter of right now, a day and a half before you know the time that he's coming back. He's coming back at some point tomorrow night when the moon is full. So you assume it's nighttime, but you've got a very small amount of time to develop and put all those things into place. With all that said, though, you have now a week before next time that we get to plan this. So I look forward to hearing you guys next time with all your plans laid out. Email amongst yourselves. As a matter of fact, don't email amongst yourselves. Bring your plans, sort it out on the show.
Little Reggie's not going to be in the line of fire. He's going to be the line of fire,
I
right?
see Miles as Hannibal, you're as Mr. T.
He's got a glass of milk.
Beautiful.
I ain't getting in no plane, Murdoch.
I get in no
I ain't getting levitated.